Hollywood is a cesspit of politics and agendas prepared on a rotation basis to be force-fed down your gullet. And yep, that's the intro. Sounds fun, right? Year in, year out, this has an impact on our viewing experience. So, what impact does that reap on our media? Welcome to Mind you, this show is no stranger to the odd change for the sake of pleasing our exec overlords who seem to view us as sheep in need of guidance to the box office, but it does blatantly push the problem right in front of our eyes. Standards. Where have they gone, and why aren't we demanding more from our media? Sources of entertainment have an implicit job to do, and we have a right to demand a certain level of quality. It's our side of the transaction. Here's some money, bring me the good shit. This particular hunk of mustachioed great writing is named Omni-Man, and his antagonism is pure. So what the hell does that mean? It means that from the minute he's on screen to the minute he leaves the scene, the man is a serious threat who perceives the world he lives in and his actions through a genuine lens that supports his desires and goals. Sectioned out, we can divide this quite simply into his themes, his objectives, and his arc. The latter two are particularly influenced by his themes and his voice, but it's not solely his voice in terms of how he speaks. It's how he conducts himself, how he interacts with the world, and the events that occur. And that's exactly where the quality of his writing shines through. Omni-Man is a Viltrumite, a strength-based race of near-immortal planet conquerors. This isn't a case of Superman gone bad, as was marketed far too often. This is Super Saiyans in a world that has no means of fighting them. The Viltrumites are everything I wanted Jiren from Dragon Ball Super to be, and more. Their obsession with strength and pride is not only overwhelming, it lacks all the moral arcs that are eventually placed upon characters in Dragon Ball. Hell, the ending of Invincible only goes to show that, even changed, the Viltrumites still dominate. To Omni-Man, or Nolan, duty and strength are themes that prevail. What does that mean in terms of his actions? Everything. Every little thing Nolan does in the show, from his first moment on screen to his teary-eyed last, are in harmony with his themes. Need to prepare a planet to be invaded by your people? Massacre your friends. Need to buy time to serve your empire? Lie to an entire world. Need to procreate and make more of your kind? Impregnate your pet.
She's more like a pet to me.
A pet?
When it comes to honoring themes, nothing is off the table. In Invincible, there's no escaping the brutality of overwhelming power. Yes, you get exposed to gruesome violence and a high number of gore scenes, but the true scope and horror of the situation is never lost on you. This is because the show doesn't allow you to see the victims as anything other than people. Even the most minute characters, such as the White House guards, are shown to live full and complex lives. So, in a society so used to the superhuman, you'd think that there would be some kind of recognition of the potential danger these beings pose. But they don't. And the characters that do seem to live in a totally different reality. Omni-Man is one of those characters. He not only knows that the people he's killing are fully fledged individuals, he doesn't care. It's his pure indifference to beings he finds to be beneath himself and the Viltrumites, and their subsequent powerlessness to his will, that just prove him to be right. This is most evident when Omni-Man decimates the Guardians of the Globe. These heroes throw themselves into danger willy-nilly every day. They demonstrate a true spirit of sacrifice for people who have no way of defending themselves, but they're too used to winning. Along comes something that's on a whole other level, and they rush headfirst into their own demise. It's a fitting end. You see, Omni-Man has earned this power, this sheer brutality. You see that in his fights with Mark. He brings that genuine fondness and pride of Viltrum and his deadly trials there to every encounter where he may need to kill. On paper, they should be of similar power, but what Mark lacks is expertise, experience, and initiative. The obstacle Mark has to overcome here, he's not just one of Goliath-like power, but of extreme proven competence. Omni-Man is a proud killer with full awareness of his actions. So what of his moral compass? To Nolan, his actions are not only necessary, but correct. He truly believes in what he needs to do. His zeal doesn't follow a linear path, rather it always follows the same guideline. Does this action benefit the Viltrum Empire? That's it. There's no silver lining to his rhetoric, no, but the bad guy had noble intentions all along. He wants his people to dominate another, decimate those they believe to be weak, make more of their own kind, and usher in a new age of supremacy. The basis of said superiority brings me back to his central theme, strength. Seeing this kind of writing play out is utterly magnetic. Nolan's interactions and snippets of dialogue are riddled with this desire to complete his objectives, come what may. This selfish and blatant belief in bringing about his vision is entirely untainted by the politics that have bled into our villains as of late. There's no parental sob story, no great injustice to be avenged through the wrong means, no loser turned villain. There is simply a demigod hell-bent on seeing his ruthless people rule once more. So what of Mark and Debbie, the crux of his arc? See now, that's the beauty of it. Even in this, the main perpetrators of Nolan's internal conflict, he ultimately comes to understand there is more strength to be found in fully living the life he created for himself. He sees Mark's vision for an even stronger Viltrum, one that turns the Empire into a benevolent yet overwhelming force. This new way forward falls in line with his desire to elevate his people and bring them to prominence. It's not a radical change of values, it's a change in management and leadership, one that truly guarantees Viltrumite glory. But you're tired of the love beats hate character arc, and of course you are, how could you not be when it's been so poorly shoved down your throat over and over again? Don't allow that to misguide your judgment. This is what having respect for your antagonist looks like. There is no downplaying his threat level so as to establish a protagonist's blatantly undeserved power simply for what they represent, aka Kylo and Rey.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
This isn't big tough guy goes soft when he understands the error of his ways. It's not love beats hate. It's meaning beats all. Ushering in a new Viltrum is what brings Nolan meaning. If that means fully supporting and parenting his child, or beating him to the brink of death and fathering another as a fresh start, it's all worthwhile in the pursuit of what brings him meaning. Now do you see? The potency of his purpose remains unchanged. His actions still respect his desires, it's only his meaning which has gained new shades. That's what happens when you write characters as people, and not as avatars of morality or malice. There's a reason why this sort of presence is so appealing on screen. We saw that with Thanos. That feeling of dread, of trouble, that's the standard we should be demanding of our antagonists. Think back to the last time you felt the protagonist has such a gargantuan obstacle to overcome. If you've read the comics, you already know the quality is only about to push itself to further heights. To the rest of you, you're in for a hell of a ride. Strap in, let that mustache grow. You can thank me later. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to more character video essays on this channel.